Okay, so you're looking for the right dog trainer in Sharon Springs. It can definitely feel like a big decision, but you're in exactly the right place to get started. We're going to walk through everything you need to know, from different training styles to local costs, so you can feel really confident about the choice you make for you and your dog.
Life in Sharon Springs has this amazing mix of quiet country living and that charming village feel. The whole point of training is to have a dog who can handle both situations gracefully. One who's totally calm on a rural road, but also perfectly polite when you're walking through the historic downtown.
And that's exactly why having that local knowledge matters so much. Good training isn't generic. It prepares your dog for the real-life things you'll actually see around here, whether it's passing some farm equipment or just behaving well around the neighbors.
So how do you actually find a qualified professional? Well, it really starts with two things: understanding their training philosophy and checking out their credentials. The method that is widely recommended by veterinarians and behavior experts is called positive reinforcement. It's pretty simple, really. It's all about rewarding the behavior you want to see with something your dog loves, like a treat or praise. This works so well, and it also builds a much stronger, more trusting bond between you two. Now, on the other side of that coin, it's really important to know what to steer clear of. If you talk to a trainer and their methods are based on intimidation, fear, or pain, that is a huge red flag. Honestly, those old-school techniques can actually create more behavior problems down the line. A great way to know if a trainer is legit is to look for certifications. You'll see these collections of letters like CPDT-KA or KPA-CTP. You don't need to memorize them all, but just know they mean a trainer has passed some tough exams on humane, effective training, and they're committed to keeping their skills sharp. And for more complex issues like serious anxiety or aggression, other credentials like CBCCKA show they have even more specialized training.
Okay, let's say you found a trainer you like, and their philosophy lines up with yours. The next thing to figure out is the program type. Let's look at the options, because what works for one dog might not be the best fit for another.
All right, so let's compare the two most common formats. Group classes are awesome for socialization, getting your dog used to being around other dogs and people, and they're usually easier on the wallet. The only downside is you get less one-on-one attention. Private lessons, on the other hand, are designed specifically for you and your dog. They can even come to your house, which is super convenient, but they do cost more. There is a third option, called a board and train program. This is where your dog actually goes to live with the trainer for a period of intensive work. It can be a great way to kickstart their training, but it's a really big commitment. You'll want to be absolutely positive that the trainer uses humane methods that you're 100% comfortable with. Now, let's get into the practical stuff. We're going to talk about what to budget for training and go over some of the local rules every dog owner in the area should be aware of. This is a question everybody has, and for good reason. Understanding the typical costs will help you plan ahead and find a program that works for you without any surprises. So here's a general look at costs in the Schoharie County region. A multi-week group class for either puppies or basic obedience is usually the most budget-friendly path. Private lessons will be a higher per-session cost, but you're paying for that customized attention. And as you might guess, those intensive board and train programs are the biggest investment of the bunch. And here is a super helpful tip for our area. Since a lot of trainers will be traveling to get to you in a more rural place like Sharon Springs, always make sure to ask if they have a travel fee. That way, you know the total cost right from the start. Being a responsible dog owner goes beyond just training. It also means following the local rules. Here in Schoharie County, it really just comes down to these three things. Always have your dog on a leash in public places, make sure their rabies vaccination is up to date, and get them licensed with your town clerk.
All right, let's pull all of this together into a final checklist. We'll cover the most important questions to ask any trainer you're considering, plus some fantastic local spots where you can practice all those new skills. So when you're interviewing a potential trainer, you'll want to be ready. Ask them straight up about their training philosophy and their credentials. A good trainer should easily explain how they can tailor a plan specifically for your dog and your life here in Sharon Springs, and they should be able to tell you which program they think would be the best fit. And don't stop there, get into the nitty-gritty. Ask them how they track progress, get a clear breakdown of all their fees, and ask about their cancellation policy. And this is a big one, especially if you're dealing with the behavior issue. Ask if they're willing to work with your veterinarian.
Picking a trainer is just step one. The real magic happens with consistent practice. And luckily, we've got some really nice local spots where you can go to work on everything you're both learning. Sharon Springs Beach is a fantastic low-key spot to practice focus with your dog on leash. If you're looking for some safe, off-leash fun, the Kanajahari Dog Park is just a short drive away. And for practicing those polite leash walking skills on a longer stroll, you really can't beat the trails at Shohari Crossing or the hike up Roman's Nose.
You know, the right training truly makes all the difference. It's what lets you enjoy every single walk through the village, feel confident when you visit with neighbors, and just appreciate all those quiet, wonderful moments at home. Happy training!